to... Whoa, what the heck? So OBS decided to spaz out on me. Sorry about that, but welcome back to more Rocket League Sinfonian series as it played the intro like 3 times. I hit transition, and it was just like, wait, intro or camera? Intro or camera? I was like, what is going on here? But yeah, that thing just spazzed out.
Let's do that every time. That was exciting.
I'm just gonna spam that the entire time like crazy. So yeah, we are going to move on to the next game, which will be Mysticats versus S2, the game a lot of people have been waiting for. Hyped up. Make sure to vote in the chat. Type in Mysticats or type in S2 on who you think is going to win. And once again, make sure if you want to see yourself here on the stream, go to Twitter and you can tweet at PMASGNRLSS. Use the hashtag RLSS and you might see your tweet here on the stream. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here because I need to get ready for this game because I need to go beat S2. I mean, I need to get ready to verse S2. So take it away, folks.
Clever, real clever.
So I was talking to commentator random before this stream, and I asked him, I was like, so who's gonna win this one? And you know, he wouldn't want me to say this like in front of his teammates or anything, but he was like, S2 is taking this one.
I heard him say the same thing. You heard it here.
Yeah.
S2 is taking this game per random.
So
That's
you hate to
commentator
hear
random.
it like from the team captain himself, but you know, sometimes you just don't have a lot of confidence going into it. So, all joking aside, this is going to be a very exciting match. I'm always hyped to see these two teams play. These are probably 2 of my favorite teams in the entire bracket of Group A and Group B to watch play. I love watching Nate play, especially. Nate's just a great player in general on S2. Lindemood is a chapter brother of mine, so I love watching him play. And then I just really, really love the team dynamic on Mysticats, especially between Randomize and Colonel Mustard, or Lieutenant Worcestershire Sauce, or Captain Ketchup, or whatever he's going as these days. So what are your thoughts here, Austin, on this matchup?
Well, these are this is the team. Even MFB back in those days, like Nate versus Random. That's really like the pinnacle of Random's rivalry. His biggest rival is always Nate. So It's always hard to say these games because I think a lot of emotion goes in these games.
Mm-hmm.
When you find emotion going in a game, it could go any way, any which way, 100 different directions. So it's really hard to call these games. However, I do think that Mysticat has this game, and that's because of a few things. I've seen Linda and Killa play amazing, great support players, and he's still Nate. You know, he's consistently good. So,
yeah.
However, I've seen Linda and Killa also play very poorly, and I think they don't have the consistency. Right now, I think they're ranked diamonds, but I don't think they have the consistency to be a diamond per se. I think they work hard and they deserve to be there. However, I don't think they're consistent enough to stay there.
Sure.
So I think that being said, Mysticats, on the other hand, Colonel Mustard, I think is at this point a very dedicated diamond player. He deserves to be there. He's very well rounded now. And he'll continue to move up. I think that just the 2 of them together, if they playing well together and have Nova as their backup, they're so dangerous, and I think they're going to take this. So
cool. Yeah. I mean, I do agree with you 100% on kind of the wild card factor of Killagunfish and Lindemood as far as backing up Nate. But I think they really want this one. And I really want it for them. Partly because I think it'll also make Mysticats try even harder in the tournament going into it. And it's honestly, it's kind of fun to watch Mysticats struggle, not because I like have sour feelings toward them or anything, but because it's fun seeing them adapt to difficult situations because they're so good at it. And I love watching that in these matches. So right now, I already voted for it, just kind of spur of the moment. But I will counter what you said, and I am going to put my my money on S2 tonight. I really want to see some big plays from Nate, and I really want to see big supporting clears and good backup defense from Lindamood and Killer Gunfish. If they can do that much to support Nate, I think they could come out of this with 2 games. I think it's going to take 3 games to finish this either way. But my money is on S2 tonight.
Okay.
So let's see if we can pull up the chat votes. If commentator random is listening. And it looks like it's 53 to 46%, and it's leaning toward Mysticats right now. So any incoming votes may sway this. I don't know if capitalization has any effect on the votes.
Looks like
either way, it might be important to use proper capitalization in your voting, but it looks like, yeah, it is continuing to lean more toward Mysticats' side. So awesome. Everyone was like, Beard like totally dropped the ball on his predictions last series. So we're definitely not going with him this time around.
Well,
so,
OTC won the vote last year too. So maybe you should start going with the crowd, Beard.
You know, I refuse to do that. I am an individual.
You take the road less traveled.
I'm a strong, independent woman, Austin. I'll have you know. So yeah, so the crowd agrees again with Austin, with Mysticats. And I think it's exactly what you're saying. It's their consistency, their consistent chemistry with each other, their communication in game, their ability to adapt. They have a lot of things going for them. And like you said, it's going to be a very emotional game. If S2 takes the lead and Mysticats is kind of struggling, they tend to kind of snowball downhill when they are struggling. So I think that's one thing that could lean toward an S2 victory here tonight. So everyone is currently loading into the game, and we should be able to get this started here soon. Yes. S2 is all joined, waiting on Mysticats to join, and we are all in. Let's get this party started. Mysticats versus S2. Colonel Mustard forcing it over to S2's side right off of the face-off. Nate and Random already meeting in the air at midfield. We're going to be seeing a lot of that this game. And it might even come down to whoever can win those challenges at midfield, Randomize or Nate. So kind of spur that rivalry a little bit. Random with the big clear all the way over to S2's goal, and Lindamood could not get to it. There it is, that first big midfield boomer clear.
I would like to see Killa be a little more aggressive there and go for that pass. It was a great pass. He just kind of backed up a little bit.
Yeah,
I think Random wide open.
I think he didn't think he could get a beneficial hit on the ball. But yeah, nice shot by Random, really using the hitbox of the Dominus to power that through all the way across the field. Nova trying to get that away, but Colonel Mustard's going to take it. Tries to get the second hit off the wall, but couldn't quite get it. Going to go into Mysticat's corner. Nate hitting it off the wall for Lindamood. Lindamood hits it wide, however. And Killer Gunfish is up in the air for this one. He's going to drop it off the ceiling. It's just barely not in front of Mysticat's goal, and S2 does not go for it. Mysticats are going to get this clear. Colonel Mustard fakes out one of the members of S2. Nate's ready for it. Comes off the wall wrong, however. Nate needs to let them not get in his head, because if he can't carry his team, I don't know who will. Some booms coming from S2. I think Random got boomed there. And Random just keeping it out of his goal with a touch up onto the top post. Really good defense from Mysticats despite being in a sticky situation. Lindamood going for the backup hit toward Colonel Mustard, who's going to clear it all the way back over to S2's side. S2 has a good chance to clear this. Nate didn't have to hit that so far forward, especially without having any teammates up there. But he's going to get a solid hit toward Mysticat's goal. Colonel Mustard's just going to nudge it off to the side. Lindamood Trying to keep the pressure up, hitting it off the corner. Nate's going to clear this one away from S2's goal. And this ball is kind of going back and forth in midfield. Both teams are starting to figure out their clears, starting to figure out their rotations. Nate's hitting this one off the wall, and Colonel Mustard's going to follow it up. Lindemood keeps that away from Colonel Mustard for the second hit, and Random had an almost open goal to shoot at, but couldn't quite get the angle. Nate pushing that over Nova, and Colonel Mustard going for that one off the bottom corner, pops it up for Randomize, but Lindemood is there to challenge. Nice challenge by Lindemood. Nate tries to put a goal on. It's too slow, and Colonel Mustard gets in the way. Killer Gunfish is going to drop this down in front of Mysticats' goal. They have an opportunity, but Nate could not get there fast enough, just didn't have the boost for it. And Colonel Mustard's going to push this one toward S2's goal. There's no one there to play defense.
Wow. I don't even know. So Killa, who was supposed to be back at that point? Who was rotating around? Looks like maybe Nate was a little slow in his rotation.
Possibly. It's really easy when you're down by just a goal to like get really hyper aggressive because you want to tie it up. You want to not be down by 2. You want there to not even be a possibility of that. So they all pushed up way too far and just left their goal open. They couldn't make any goal opportunities for themselves. Colonel Mustard putting another one on goal. Let's see what happened here. Lindemood clears it away from their goal, actually centers it for Colonel Mustard, and his teammates were not ready to recover from that. Lindemood had the right idea hitting that, but he just didn't get it off at the right angle. If he could have kept that off to the side, it would have been a much better clear. Nate and Random going for the face-off, keeping it neutral at midfield. Colonel Mustard pushing that into the corner. Possibly another shot opportunity. Random hits it off the backboard. Colonel Mustard's trying to head back. Kill a Gunfish. Maybe could have pushed that forward instead of bringing it back to Nate, since Mysticats were a little bit messed up there. Colonel Mustard hitting this toward S2's backboard. Gets another touch on it to hit it over the defenders. Random putting another one on goal. Ooh. Boys, lads, chat, what are you doing with your votes?
It seems like Linda and Killer
magic do you possess?
They're always up each other's butts, honestly, is the best way to put it. They're so close together.
Yeah, you're right.
They gotta spread out. They gotta trust each other.
Absolutely, and that can really leave Nate out to dry too if both of his teammates are not spread out enough to play good defense when the ball comes back to their side. They catch him with his pants down. Nate pushing this one up into the corner. Colonel Mustard clearing it away. It's going to stay in that corner for a little while. Nova tries to get the clear. Lindemood trying to pass it back to his team, but actually fakes them out. Killer Gunfish popping it up off the ceiling. Randomize gets a hit up, drops it down off the top corner. Teammates aren't quite ready for that one, however. And Colonel Mustard's going to hit it up onto the wall, goes toward S2's goal. Killer Gunfish trying to get in the way of this. It's just wide, so he doesn't have to worry too much. With 50 seconds left on the goal, it's looking like this first game is easily going to go to Mysticats, but S2 needs to put as many goals in as they can. Try to swing the momentum in their favor for a game 2. We don't want to see another sweep like last series. At least S2 doesn't want to see that. Almost another goal by Randomize, goes just over S2's goal. Lindemood trying to get this pass off, but Nova's waiting for it. They need to get stronger passes because those ones where it just rolls around the corner are way too easy to clear at this point. Everyone's defense at this point in the league has gotten so much better. I've noticed it so much playing against teams. Like, I have trouble getting the ball in front of the goal. So you really have to be a little bit more creative with your passes. Colonel Mustard tries to get this one in front of S2's goal for another final goal, but that's denied. Doesn't matter. Mysticats win the first game of the series, 4-0. S2 with only one shot on the board. Nate with one shot and one save, zeros across the board for everyone else. Whereas on Mysticats, we see that consistency, we see that teamwork. 2 assists to 4 goals, 8 shots total. Nova playing back like he does, but getting those assists when it's needed, when it's important for him to do so. Colonel Mustard honestly, like Colonel Mustard is sometimes just such a hard carry for Mysticats, and I love seeing that. What do S2 need to do to get game 2 under their belt, Austin?
I think Linda and Killa, they need to trust each other. I think Nathan's doing a good job spreading out, but he can only do so much in this game. And
yeah,
Colonel Mustard and Randomize, they put up too much pressure to be able to even get close to being enough. So if Linda and Killa can turn around and really put trust in each other and push and put pressure, I think that'll definitely help it all. So
yeah, absolutely. At this point, if you see 2 teammates upfield, you don't start driving upfield until you see one of them coming back. Just to be sure that you will have someone back to play defense, because so many of Mysticats' goals have been on empty nets, almost like that one, but Killer Gunfish gets in the way of it. Almost a nice face-off goal. They almost got a shot in like 5 seconds. Almost got the dagger. Killer Gunfish is going to carry this one over to the sidewall. He's going to try to hit it outward to Nate, but can't make contact. Random reads that. He's going to hit it into S2's corner. Lindemood clears that away. Lindemood pushing up this side. Gets it over Nova. Gets himself backwards, however. Not able to follow it up. Killer Gunfish put one off the corner. Colonel Mustard, however, getting in the way of that. I'm saying however a lot, and I'm so sorry. I need to... I'll start using although. And
mix him up a little bit.
Colonel Mustard going for another shot.
However.
Lots of members of S2 in the way, although... Despite many members of S2 being in the way.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Big clear from S2. Although no one is there to back it up, I'm like mentally thinking about it now. It's messing me up. S2 double committing here again. Randomize is easily able to put that back in their corner. Colonel Mustard gets the dunk on S2. He's going to follow this one up. I think that was Lindemood got in the way of that one. Good defense by Lindemood. I think S2 can be a little bit more aggressive in their defense. Ooh, and Lindemood with the kill to the goal. Anger fueled this shot.
Yeah.
Really nice goal by Lindemood. No one on Mysticats was back for that. They're not used to having to play defense right now since they've been getting so many midfield ball stops. They've been on offense most of the time. Colonel Mustard thought he could follow that one up, but Nate gets just in the way. Nate's going back to goal while Randomize puts it over S2's backboard. Linda makes sure that that one doesn't go any further, but Random's waiting for it. Gets a dunk on S2. Nova not quite able to get there in time to get the right angle. Colonel Mustard going up, hitting this one off the corner.
Oh,
Random
man.
almost puts that one in. Nova's being smart and playing back. They're down by 1 right now, so he doesn't want to push too far. But he will come up for that shot. Lots of S2 members in goals still. I wonder if S2 is starting to commit to having like at least 2 goalies at a time now, just to be sure. I mean, that could be a winning strategy for them at this point. Nate putting this one off the side wall. Random getting it past Nate. Colonel Mustard and Random working together to push this one through the side field. Nate getting that one past Nova. Randomized challenging to contest it at midfield. And Random's going to push this one now toward S2's goal. Almost got the flick past S2. Colonel Mustard got there just a little too early and ended up pinching it off of the backboard of S2's goal. Lindemood goes for that one, but misses. Nate's going to try to push it upfield, but Random's there to meet him. Mysticats are trying to play very aggressively right now, but they need to actually make the plays happen. They need to make solid contact. They need to get passes and catch S2 off guard, most importantly. Minute and 40 seconds left. S2 is up by 1. They need this win for there to be a game 3.
They're definitely playing like they want it right now. This is a little bit different S2 than what we saw in the...
Absolutely. I think they're playing a little more reserved. Like you said, the 2 lower tier players not necessarily on top of each other this whole time. Killer Gunfish, it seems like, is taking more of a backseat approach, kind of like Nova does on Mysticats, like just always having that backup. Lindamood's trying to be savage with the booms this game. Almost gets another goal from that one. Nate challenging this at midfield against Random, and it unfortunately goes over him, opening up a shot for Nova.
That was a great shot from Nova.
Yeah, really good positioning by Nova, pushing up midfield when your front teammate is going for a challenge, just kind of waiting to see what happens and then being there, being ready for it when it does go your way. It's not guaranteed to happen, but when it does, you are there. And that'll tie it up with less than a minute left in game 2. S2 needs to score another goal.
Oh, man.
Oh, for there to be a game 3, Mysticats need to score another goal in regulation to secure this victory. And this is kind of the game that I was expecting in the first match. I feel like that first one was a little bit of a fluke. Maybe the teams weren't quite warmed up. Nate putting that one in with a nice bounce shot. Looked like Mysticats might have gotten a little overcommitted on defense here. Yeah, Colonel Mustard pushing up for that one. Didn't read it very well. Random couldn't get back in time, and Nate's going to score that every time when he sees that open goal opportunity. Not going to let those slide. Killer Gunfish pushing forward up into Mysticats' corner. S2 getting a lot of booms this match. Nate dropping that one off the top. Raindrop, drop top. Lindamood trying to get back. Nova pushing this one for a back pass to his teammates. Colonel Mustard trying to push it forward. S2 just needs to hold off for a few more seconds and let this touch the ground, and that'll secure game 2 for S2. And this is the series that I was hoping for.
All right, we got game 3.
Love game 3s. All right, so here we see the scoreboard a little more fleshed out this time, especially on S2. Everyone's got at least one point in all those categories, which is nice to see, not just straight goose eggs. They kind of figured out their rotations a little better. Like we discussed, Lindamood and Killa were not on top of each other that match. Nate didn't actually even seem like he was trying to play too active of a role that time. He might have dialed it back a bit. I think he might have been overextending that first game, and he dialed it back just enough to where he could play more reactively and take advantage of those weaknesses and openings on Mysticats. Mysticats, I think, kind of tried to play the same way that they were last game. What do you think? Like, what does Mysticats now need to change to counter whatever happened that match?
I think what was working last game was their weird touches. They had weird half-field, midfield touches that were really throwing S2 off. I think it was just working out. I don't know if it's going to work out every time, but maybe go back to that, because that was more of a traditional approach that they just did that game. So.
Yeah, and I think Mysticats definitely did have more of a midfield presence that first game too, that they didn't quite have that last game that we saw. And this is game 3 of the best of 3 between S2 and Mysticats. Game 1 was a bit of a shutout, if you missed it, by Mysticats. S2 clenched game number 2 by 1 goal. And here we are. Teams are getting kind of scrappy. S2 is starting to go for more booms as of last game. Kind of middle of last game, they've started booming Mysticats a lot. Lindamood's going to push this one off the wall. Just misses it, though. Manages to get a bump against Mysticats, though, and still opens up an opportunity for Gunfish. Randomize getting a big boomer clear off to the side with this one. Lindamood gets a nice touch to keep that clear out of the way from his goal. And Nova going for that one. Colonel Mustard had to back off. I think Colonel wanted that one, and Nova ended up going for it. Hard to watch. S2, I think S2 thought they had the clear, in the bump by Random on Nate. The absolute savagery. Nice bump by Random. That just totally left S2's goal open. So I think Mysticats might be starting to take a page out of S2's book from last game and starting to play a little bit more physically, getting a little more contact on these cars. We might be seeing more bumps and booms this game to open up those offensive opportunities. This one's going to bounce over Randomize, and Killer Gunfish just squeezes it in off of the post. Random just, I don't know if he didn't have boost, he just wasn't in a good position to act on this defensively, and Killer Gunfish took advantage of that opportunity. And that'll tie it up at 3 minutes and 40 seconds of game 3 between Mysticats and S2. Killer Gunfish tries to pinch this off the backboard, get it in front of Mysticats' goal. Randomize is going to push it up forward, but that one's going to go back to midfield. Killer Gunfish challenging Colonel Mustard, and that one's going to go off of their backboard, and Nate's not able to get that angle. That's a tough shot. Might have been better just to go for a secure contact and get a hit off the backboard for a pass to his teammates. And Killer Gunfish a little lost here. Thought that maybe Nate was passing it to him on the wall. Somehow gets a pool demo. Whoever hit him into that. Now Linda's being a savage without even trying. Nova pool killing his only goalie. Not often you see one of those. And that'll put S2 up by 1 goal in game 3. Killa didn't need to hit that one, but kind of made a last-second decision to hit it and hit it straight up, but Nate was able to recover it. Random and Colonel kind of double committing here on the side, and Killer Gunfish going for another one. Oh, almost gets the tasty double touch. Starts kind of dancing on the post there a little bit, a little stuck. That's one thing in this game, is these posts are magnetic to your car. If you get on those things, you'd best jump to get off of them. If you try to drive, you're going to be in for a hard time. Ball's spending a lot of time in midfield right now. Random and Nate challenging each other once again. Killer Gunfish and Mustard going up together once again, and Killa wins this one. And this is definitely starting to lean more toward S2 right now. They're playing back enough that they can go for smarter hits. And Killer Gunfish just happened to get lucky on that one to get it over Colonel Mustard. I think it's interesting that we see the same kind of matchups of players at midfield. We see Randomize challenging Nathan. We see Colonel Mustard challenging Killer Gunfish. Nice save by Colonel Mustard there. And then at the same time, we see Nova and Lindamood kind of sitting back, taking a back seat to kind of wait and see what happens with those challenges. Lindamood pushing that one forward for Killer Gunfish, but Random's able to take it away from him, close that opportunity gap, and Colonel Mustard's going to push this one off to the side. Nate accidentally getting a touch toward his goal. Random taking advantage of that and pushing it into their corner. This one's going to float over in front of S2's goal, but Killer Gunfish manages to get it out of the way. Killer Gunfish is really clutching up these last 2 games, I've noticed. He was a little rusty there that first game, not making solid contact, but he's made some beefy plays in these last 2 matches. 1 minute and 20 seconds left for Mysticats to score 2 goals. Just to put it into overtime. Not unheard of, but they're definitely going to have to change the way they're playing right now. They need a big clear followed by passes off the backboard to get a shot in. They need to catch S2 off guard. Another one rolling off the backboard all the way over in front of Mysticats' goal. No one was able to get to it from S2. And a big old pinch by Nate. Might have had some help from Randomize there. Killer Gunfish popping this one up to the ceiling. Lindamood challenging Colonel Mustard to keep this one on Mysticats' side. Mysticats just needs to get it clear. They need to get this ball over to S2's side to open up some offensive opportunities.
Oh, man.
And there was the opportunity, but it's looking like this is going a little bit downhill for Mysticats now, as we have 20 seconds left for them to score 2 goals. Clock is ticking, and it's looking like this series is going to be going to S2 unless Mysticats can pull off something crazy here in these last 6 seconds. But I'd say, yes, it is over, and that is going to be game 3 for S2.
The reverse sweep.
As the announcer said, the game was robbed.
No, man.
And you know, he's speaking for the whole series because I think after that first game, Mysticats got maybe a little overconfident. You know, I think they thought they had it in the bag. My boys on S2, they were like, we're not gonna let you be wrong against Chat Beard. We're gonna win just to make sure that you get at least one prediction right tonight. So I appreciate that, guys on S2. Way to clutch up. I mean, totally different team between the first match and like halfway through the second match onward. And I don't think Mysticats saw that coming. Normally, Mysticats are the ones that we see doing that. They're the ones who kind of turn it around and adapt and overcome, but we really saw that from S2 tonight. What do you think, Austin? What really led to S2's victory?
I think a lot of it was Killa and Linda, like, trying to gain some more communication. Maybe they're just trying to do too much. And you mentioned that all three of them were really, really aggressive the first game, and that was just too much. Mysticats were able to exploit those little mistakes. But as the series progressed, it looked like Mysticats just like ended up committing the same mistakes later on. So if you look at making the same, whiffing certain things, going for the same ball, I don't know, it was unorganized. It seemed like they were getting maybe a little nervous, a little anxious.
Absolutely, dude. That really does go to show like how much of a factor the two lower players play on a team. Like just allowing that top player to feel more comfortable and giving them more room to act and play the way that they're comfortable playing, like that can make such a difference. And even that said, like I feel like Lindemood and especially Killer Gunfish, like were almost more active in those last couple of games, turning the tide of the game at midfield and getting the ball cleared away from their goal. So with that said, who can we get from S2? I'm going to rely on you, Austin. I think you have more people in Discord.
How about we do, we'll do some Linda in here. Get Linda in here.
Yeah.
Questions.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. There he is.
Ding-a-ding.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
And welcome to the Discord call. Sorry, I turned into a randomized for a second. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going great.
Yeah,
Really
that was a
good.
big victory for you guys.
Yeah.
So my biggest question for you, Linda, is what allowed you all to turn it around so much? Like, did you guys like kind of talk it out after that first game, kind of figure things out? Did you just get a better feel for it? Were you not warmed up in the first game? I'm just curious as to what caused that huge difference in play.
Well, yeah, we were even saying in chat with Mysticats that that little break between the games cooled us down a lot because we've probably been playing since, I don't know, 7-8 o'clock, and we've been absolutely tearing it up. And then that first game we just couldn't quite get back into that rhythm. And so second one turned around and me and Killa stepped up, started playing a little bit more aggressive, opened it up for Nate to do a little bit too, and it just started to feel a lot more comfortable.
Nice, yeah. Well, that's good that like you were able to intentionally make that decision to change the way you were playing. I mean, something that Austin and I noticed was that first game, like you and Killa were very much on top of each other, kind of leaving a lot of gaps. Is that something that you all noticed as well?
Yeah, it's a habit that we've had for a long time, and recently we've really started to get out of it. So it's gotten a lot better, but unless we're like in a groove, we forget about it still sometimes.
Yeah.
So every once in a while we'll start bunching up, and then we just clear it out, get our head straight, and jump back on it, and then it's a different team after that.
Yeah. Well, and that definitely plays into what you said about like going in cold and finally warming up after that first game. I think it was about like halfway into the second game that we really started noticing you guys turning it up.
Yeah.
Austin, did you have any questions?
No, I definitely agree. Going to that second game, I was kind of nervous. I was like, man, this is pro in the first game. You know, I don't want it to be a sweep. Beard mentioned the same thing, and I was like, Kill and Linda really need to just separate each other. They're like connected at the waist right now for every ball. They just gotta get off each other and
They just love each other so much.
just gotta focus and make sure you're calling. I don't know, communication maybe was varying, but and halfway, like you mentioned, halfway through that second game, it was like things were trying to change. And that third game, it was just that's S2. There it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was the S2 that we like to see.
Yeah, it definitely felt better as time went on our end.
Yeah. Well,
all
that
right.
is awesome. So that was, I believe that was your guys' last round before the tourney.
Yep.
So best of luck to you guys going into the tourney, going through the tournament. I mean, I think Mysticats are probably like your biggest competition skill wise. So this is probably a big confidence booster for you guys going into that.
Oh, it's just Colonel and Nova we're worried about. That's pretty much it.
Oh.
Ooh. Well, going forward, this puts S2 in the first seed, right?
We are
All right,
calculating
well,
that as
We'll get right back on that.
yeah, as we speak. So do you
The next game
have-
will be Tuesday, TRP against Team 10. Don't forget that game. Next Tuesday, April 3rd. It's the last of the games in week 10. We're excited.
Nice.
there.
That'll be fun. Yeah. I know getting to play against both of those teams, like both of you all, like definitely put a lot of pressure on us as a team. So that'll be really fun to watch. I'm gonna have to tune in for that one. Might even have to commentate.
All right. So that was a great game. S2, congratulations. Linda, congratulations to you as well for winning that one. Because you guys won that one, you threw off the placement so hard that we have perfectly tied each other for first and second, or for first place through almost every single stat. Where you guys slacked, we were up. Where we slacked, you were up. So because of that, I technically, to break this tie, I would have to go and do the stats now, but I'm not going to do that while we are live. So that will give you more of a reason to go follow our Twitter at PMASGNRLSS, and I will make the announcement there on who won that, because I would have to go through 3 replays and start doing the math, unless Ginger was around and was doing it now. But I believe he's not available at the moment.
I think we need to settle it via 1v1 of Random versus Nate. I think that's the only way.
That's fair.
That is
That's fair.
definitely the
Duel to the death.
Nate would beat me, so no.
Drop shot, rumble, max gravity, cube.
oh man.
It's the only way.
Nah, Nate would beat me easy. He's a much better 1v1 player than me. He knows my game style very well.
Oh yeah,
Like-
he's a monster. I hate having him drive toward me with the ball. It's scary.
Yeah, it's so bad. But yeah, I definitely need to calculate this. Apparently the chat really wants this. Apparently the chat really wanted that 1v1 to happen. Man,
We can do that in between the All-Star game.
All right. Well, we would need to find out what the stats are before we even get to the All-Star game. We would need that before we get into the playoffs.
Okay, so what are we waiting for?
Right now.
Are we seriously about to do this?
What?
Nah. That'd be funny. That would definitely be funny. But yeah, I believe, because I'm trying to look at what the stats were before, and I just got really bright and really pale on camera. Right now, technically, we are in first. So we played 3 games, right? Did I do my math right?
Yes, you played 3 games.
I'm going to actually calculate this quickly now.
Remember, because you won the first one and then lost the series.
14. Yes.
Okay. Thought you forgot. Love you, bud.
With that, we still have a higher winning percentage. So that means Mysticats is still in first seed. That's the break off. Wow. What a way to just finish that one. So GG to you guys. I mean, in the end of the day, it didn't really matter who was in first or second seed, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like,
10.
good prediction, commentator randomized. Like, you really called it on S2 taking that one.
What? Oh, I don't know if you saw me off camera.
I saw you.
Okay. That's the beauty about knowing how this stuff works, because I just know how to do things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, commentator randomized that words were forced in his mouth. Apparently said that S2 was going to win. But I mean,
that
you know,
commentator randomized is a smart dude.
Yeah, no, seriously, that was honestly a great game. Like, I'm not mad for losing. We had some saltiness happen in the team, but like personally, it wasn't me. I literally was just like, why are we getting mad? Like, they're playing smart. And then there was like, oh, I made a stupid mistake. It's like, okay. I'm like, it's the last game, dude. Like, it's the playoffs. I'm gonna care about it. If they make a dumb mistake, that's when I'll go after them. But that's another story. So with that being said, Austin did bring it up before. The next game, and this is the final season game, will be TRP versus Team 10 next Tuesday at
11:30.
10:30.
Yep.
Why don't I not know my own schedules, man?
Why don't I know my own schedule? What do you
It's your game. 11 p.m. You signed up for 11 p.m.
Wow.
So we were not
Completely
even
wrong.
right.
Nope.
So yeah,
got
we will
30s
be
involved.
streaming at 11 p.m. Eastern. 11 p.m. Eastern time. That will be the last game of all of them. So if you guys really want to see some epic games happen, that's going to be one of them. In my opinion, I think that's going to be definitely the best game it is. And that will be the final determination. TERP and Team 10 are duking it out for the last spot in the playoffs. So whoever wins that will advance to the playoffs, and that'll be it. We'll be in playoffs. It'll be the 14th and the 15th of April, and that's season 2. It's crazy how it just flew like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Fun.
My voice got a little hyped up during that. But yeah, so thank you very much for everyone joining us. That's it for this week. There are no more games this week. The next one will be Tuesday, like we said, at 11 p.m. You don't want to miss that. To make sure you don't miss that, hit that follow button so you know when we go live. All the subscriptions and the bits, we do appreciate it. They really do help. And it does support us. It goes straight back into everything we do here. And it's phenomenal because we actually have a winning pot for the winning team that none of us have to pay for, which I appreciate because poor Nathan was the one who put in the money for the winning pot last season. And this time we didn't have to. And I would like to also give a quick shout out for Krasinga. Thank you for the 1,500 bits. Appreciate it, man.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, with that, folks, do you guys have anything you would like to say before we're done here?
No, just make sure you tune in on next Tuesday. You won't be disappointed. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody who shows up regularly in Twitch chat and who's always active on the Discord. I love being a part of this community, and looking forward to next season. Looking forward to this tournament coming up, and I'll see you guys in there.
Yeah, and shout out to Popster. Thank you for the 4-month resub. Appreciate that. And for me, last words. I'm excited for this. I can't wait to see how this season will end. I would not be surprised if it's like season 1 where it's a huge upset. Underdogs come out of nowhere, just because that's what happened last season. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens this season. And then season 3 will be advancing. We will be making some really hefty big moves and big changes. So make sure you stay tuned with everything that we do here so that we make those announcements. And excuse me, my voice is slowly going. So I got to make this really quick while my voice is shooting off. We have the All-Star votes are now open and available. All 4 people here that you see on the screen, as well as every other player in RLSS, are available to be voted for. So that is something I think you guys would love to see. I think everyone should vote because I am excited for this. We've gotten a lot of votes so far, which is awesome. And the votes will be done and cut off by Friday, April 13th. So the day before the finals, it will be done. So make sure you vote. It's going in the chat now. Make sure you vote. You have to sign into Google so that you can't keep posting over and over again. So with that being said, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Linda and S2, once again, congratulations on your win. Austin, Beard, thank you so much for commentating and casting tonight. You guys have been doing an excellent job. Thank you for all your help. I'm Randomized. We are going to get out of here, and we will be back, and we will see you on Tuesday, 11 p.m. So have a good night, and take it easy, everyone.